The first step you want to do is choose your self-portrait that you want to use. So naturally, I'm going to do this really silly one. It's literally a turkey on my head, so I had to use it. Next thing we're going to do is print out our image on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. My image is in color, but yours will be black and white, but you can use your phones for color later on. Next, we are going to take our image and trace it onto our final collage paper. We are allowed to trace our own images because we took them, we own them, there's no copyright involved. So there's a couple of ways that we can trace, and this is the first way, and this is me just taping out my image onto the window, and then I can take my piece of paper, line it up, and then I can actually just start tracing kind of the basic form of my picture. The other option for tracing is using the light table in the classroom, and I can show you how to do that. Begin with the basic outline of everything, and then you can go in with detailed spots like your eyes and facial features. But the other thing that's most important is to start outlining your shadows. You can see that in my scarf there are areas of shadow, and similar to the grid drawing project, we're gonna block in these shadows with our pencil. So as you're tracing, you're gonna make these forms, and later when we start using collage paper, the areas that are blocked in as shadows, you're gonna use darker collage paper compared to the light areas, which you're gonna use lighter collage paper. So this is the traced image of the scarf, and you can see I blocked in those areas of shadow, and it's not just a line, I actually created a shape that I will fill in later. I also did some of the shadows under my eyes and on my nose, and I want to make sure I do all the folds and wrinkles and shadows on the turkey hat. So again, just make sure that you block out all the areas of shadow. When you're finished tracing, you can take your paper and then just eyeball it and maybe go through and freshen up some lines that you may have missed, because sometimes it's difficult to see your photo while you're tracing. So just go through freehand, fixing lines and shadows that you may have missed. In the background of my photo, there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we're not gonna, if you have a background like this, you're not gonna have to do each one of those, trace all of that. So you can leave your background blank for now, and we're gonna do a gradient using Collage. To set up your gradient, you're gonna wanna make 3 chunks, and that's 2 lines. So you're gonna draw 2 lines across the back, of course, behind your drawing that you traced. And this chunk will be the first color, this chunk will be the colors blended, and this last chunk will be the other color. So this is a hue gradation. Next is the fun part of going through magazines and newspaper and all of that to find similar colors that go along with your photo. Like I said before, yours is gonna be on your phone. You'll have a black and white printed image, but your real image will be on your phone, so you need to use your phone picture to look at the coloring. I started finding browns to fill my hair in with, and I'm starting with the edges. So I'm first going to find pieces to outline, and I want to make sure that I don't go outside of those lines, and then that little area right here I can fill in perfectly to fit that line. Fine details like eyes, you're going to want to cut these out in the shape that the eyeball is in. So I cut out this circle, and it's clearly too big, but similar to this, you do want to cut out a circle for the eye. So I'm going to trim these edges a little bit. So I finished the hair on my collage, and I noticed that my hair is a lot darker than the actual photo. So I'm going to find maybe some highlights just to add a bit of detail. So I put some highlights down. Now I'm going to start working on the turkey hat. And so I found the magazine piece that kind of matches up to the color, and I'll start making some strips from this for my collage. So I laid down the areas that are not shaded, and you can see I went around this edge, this line, and this is my shadow. So I found a piece that's a little bit darker but similar in color, and I cut it out to kind of match this edge there. So I can kind of line that up. So I don't have this detail in my eye, but I am going to add something a little fancy in this eye, just a little white sliver to show the light reflection. Just a hint, if you pick a photo that's a little bit farther away like mine, you're going to have to make smaller, finer details, as opposed to a closer photo. Your details are going to be a little bit bigger for you to fill in with your collage paper. This is all I'm going to demo right now. I'm going to show you the gradient background another day.